So life for most families has been a lot different these last few months than normal. We've spent a lot more time together as a family, all under the same roof. And those times can be quality times, and there's also definitely been challenges. Every family I know has kind of run the gamut. It's been great, it's been terrible, definitely different than we're used to since COVID-19 hit back in March. So now that we're in July, we've all learned some things about what's working and what's not working. We're getting a little bit more flexibility in what we can do and where we can go. And then some of that's pulled back, and everything is still changing on a pretty regular basis. But for the most part, we're still spending a lot of time together as a family. And for our family, that's been the case as well. I've always worked from home, and so I've continued to work from home for this entire time. My kids came home first, and they were here all the time, and they continue to be here all the time. And in the fall, they're doing virtual school, so they will continue for the foreseeable future to be home all the time while I'm trying to work and get everything else accomplished that I do. My husband, for a while, was continuing to go to work every day, and then he was laid off from his job. And so he was home all the time for a little while. And then unexpectedly, we decided, okay, our next step is he's going to be an entrepreneur. So he's created his own company. And so he's here a lot, but he's also gone a lot for jobs. So that means I'm home a lot with the kids. So it's definitely been a challenge and different. Feels like everything that has changed in our lives over the last few months, as I've continued to try to be a full-time worker and try to continue in graduate school and keep up with everything else that we've been going on. So I have intentionally, over the course of the last few months, added a few things to our lives to try to help us just improve in different areas. And they've had a positive impact on our family and the quality of our time together. So I wanted to share what those three things are, not as a prescription that everybody should do these things. Please hear me say that this is not to say that everybody should implement these three activities into their lives, because it's definitely not what I'm suggesting here. I'm just suggesting these as maybe some ideas that could spur some creativity to figure out what you could do in your own family to improve the dynamic and improve the quality of the time that you are spending together. So the first thing that we have implemented is family house cleaning time. And I know that does not sound at all exciting, but for the most part, like when it's announced, like this weekend is family house cleaning time, everyone gets excited. It is so weird. So for a very long time, since I went back to work after having my son almost 8 years ago, I had a friend come and clean our house. We paid a house cleaner because it saved my sanity. We just did not have time. My husband is not the kind of guy who loves to help out with housework, and I just do not have, with two small kids, I did not have the energy to do it or the desire. So we just hired it out, and it was amazing, and it was wonderful, and it was my friend, so I got to chat with her twice a month and spend some time, and it was just an awesome arrangement. And then COVID-19 hit and stay-at-home orders came, and we decided, no, it's probably not a good idea to have the house cleaner keep coming, as most other families with house cleaners also decided. So we said, okay, we can clean our own house. We can do this. So I immediately said, we are cleaning the house. I'm not cleaning the house. And so I made it a family cleaning activity. And so every time we go to clean the house, which is about every 2 weeks, we do regular pickup and laundry and dishes and all of that every day. But this is the vacuuming and the dusting and the scrubbing of the toilets and all of that. We do it 2 weeks. It's good enough. Anyway, so I get out Post-it notes and I write each individual activity. So clean the kitchen sink and counters, and vacuum the living room, and dust the bedroom. All those things that are on an individual Post-it note. And I just get a whole stack of them, and then I lay them all out somewhere in the house, and we take turns going through all together. So that's the main rule of family cleaning time, is that everybody in the house has to be a part of it. So everybody has to be here and everybody has equal work in this, or as close to equal work as we can get it. So what happens is we go from youngest to oldest. You can do it whatever order you want, but they're all the Post-it notes are laid out, and the youngest gets to go first and they pick one. And then the next youngest picks, or next oldest, whatever, they pick another one. And we go through, everybody gets one, and then start at the beginning. The youngest picks another one. And so everybody gets to pick whatever activities they want. I'm not assigning to you what you do. You get to pick what you do, but everybody has equal ones. So it's usually about 5 or 6 activities per person that we have to do. And so you get to pick, but you have to do it. And then as soon as we picked, we turn the music up really loud. So we have a family playlist that's kind of safe for the kids, but upbeat and happy. And we turn it up in the living room. We have a sound bar, and so we just turn it up really loud so you can hear it everywhere, including over the vacuum most of the time. And we get to work, and it takes a little over an hour. I will say some people, my husband, like to pick all the easiest, quickest activities. So he usually gets done first, and I usually pick the mom's really picky activities, so I get done last. But that just means that my husband has to teach the kids or help them with finishing up their things, because, you know, a 7-year-old may not be the best at vacuuming and mopping the floors, and so there might be a little bit of tweaking and coaching along the way that happens. So my husband usually gets assigned that task, but everybody does it, and at the end, the whole house is cleaned, and it's wonderful, and it's been a really beneficial time. And so anyways, that happened for probably 6 weeks, that we did that every other week. And then just as the stay-at-home orders were being lifted a little bit, my husband got laid off from his job, and we said, oh, financially, we should not have our house cleaner come. We should just save our money, because we don't know what the future holds. And so we'll just keep cleaning the house, and everybody seems to like it. So that is our new normal, is that we clean our own house for the first time in my son's life. So family cleaning time. Moms, I just really, really need you to know how much this has saved my sanity, that I'm not the one cleaning the house all by myself. Please, please, if you're not already, make your family help you in cleaning the house. However it works in your family, however you can arrange it, but make sure that you're not the only one, because you're not the only one living there. You're not the only one making a mess. So make it a team effort, that everybody helps out and it's all equal. The second activity that we have added to our family during quarantine or stay-at-home orders and all of this going on is family game night. And this has been a super, super fun one. Friday was always the day that we went out to eat as a family. Usually my mom would join us, and we just, it was the end of the week, and we just relax and go out and have somebody cook and whatever. So we wanted to do something a little bit more fun, a little bit more like something to look forward to at the end of the week, instead of more days at home. Yay! And so we came up with family game night. So we still usually order out. So I'm not cooking. We order carry out from a restaurant, bring it home and eat it. And then we have family game night, where everyone gets to pick a game most of the time. At least the kids get to pick a game. If we run tight on time, then the grown-ups don't always pick. But Fridays are one of my big homework days for grad school. I have a midnight deadline, so sometimes I am working on homework until we've started game night at like 9:30 and 10 o'clock on Friday, but it's Corona time, so who cares? There's no bedtime for the kids. But when we start that late, we don't necessarily play 4 games, but you get to pick whatever you want. So we have done all kinds of board games and card games. The boys picked video games one time, so we had this whole big video game tournament with, I don't even know, Mario Kart maybe. That's how good I am at video games. And the kids have lately picked hide and seek, which I hate, but I will do it anyways, because it's family game night and everybody gets to pick a game. So it's super fun. We all play together, and it lasts hours, and it's just a great way to relax and unwind and still have something exciting and fun to do together each week, even when a lot of things are still shut down and there's a lot of restrictions on what we can and can't do. And the third thing that we have implemented in our family during this time is morning meeting. I know that probably does not sound that exciting, but it's fun. And we haven't done this all the time. This is something that I implemented back during the school year when I'm working from home and the kids were doing their e-learning, and I have a day full of Zoom meetings, and they would have Zoom meetings at different times. And so I just needed to like all get together, talk about who had Zoom meetings when, so that we were all on the same page of what was going on, what needed to happen. And so I said, we're gonna have a morning meeting, and it's turned out to be a really, really fun time. We took a break from it for a while, and we've implemented it again in the last few weeks because we're getting ready to start virtual learning again in the fall. So, but like I said, we discuss the Zoom schedule or any other meetings, activities that are scheduled for the week. Usually there's some kind of discussion on, I ask them a question, either high, low. So what's your high or what's your low from yesterday? What are you grateful for? Any kind of quality conversation that I can pull out of them is kind of the goal of that. We read through Love Does for Kids by Bob Goff, and now we're going through the Jesus Storybook Bible. So I just read one little short story each day to them. And then we finish off most of the time with saying a prayer. And then I do 20-second hugs. That's a big thing with my kids. I have to hug them, and you have to be for 20 seconds. And I make my husband do it with me too in the evenings when he's home. So it's just a nice, like, positive way for us all to start the day together and on a good note, and just make sure that we all know who's going where and what's happening with Zoom schedules. So that is the third thing that we have implemented during quarantine to help improve just our family dynamic and our relationships with each other with all of this together time that we've been blessed with. So again, I'm not sharing these as everybody should do these 3 things. I'm just sharing these as what has worked for us to help you think through your family and what might be helpful for you as you go through all these changes, all this time together, and the school year challenges that are coming up. So just get creative, come together as your family, have some kind of meeting to decide what do we need to implement to make our lives easier and better. So I hope that was helpful for you. Leave a comment below with any ideas or suggestions or things that you have implemented in your family over the last couple months.